Viewer discretion is expressed for the following program. If you are easily triggered or offended, please exercise caution while viewing this program, because the hosts really don't care. Warning, this show is not for children, and not for coworkers either.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. It's a beautiful Tuesday morning. The sun is out. The weather is nice and calm. It hasn't gotten over 100 degrees yet. I've been having a great day. I've already had a bit of my coffee. We've got plenty of stuff to talk about this morning and some interesting stuff. Let me just do a little tweet here. Tell everybody get in the show. And
in my belly.
Yeah, I got to remember to hit the Twitter thing. I am doing a terrible job of publicitying. What's the publicity?
Publicitying. That's the correct word. You got it right off the bat. Way to go, buddy.
Good morning. How are you? What's
I'm
up?
good. How are you? I got to talk in 1 minute and 6 seconds.
Okay.
I'm doing pretty good. I didn't sleep worth a damn last night, but it's been hard for me to get any sleep. Do you get any sleep? The sleep like you used to as a young man? Now that you're old, and I know the answer to that already, but like, if I could sleep like 4 solid hours without being woken up in those 4 hours, if I could do that, I think I would be okay. I just want 4 solid hours without being awakened by something. It's not like getting from the bed, but it's being awoke.
I really want to empathize and sympathize you emotionally, but not physically, because I don't want to deal with that. Because I know it's a burden.
I don't sleep well. I never have slept well. I'm a human that does not sleep well,
and that literally pulls it, frays your brain.
It affects my whole body. It affects my whole life because I can't get a restful night's sleep. All right, I got to talk.
Yeah. Okay. No, I sleep great, actually. I go to sleep. I climb into bed at night. I put my heads. I read like 2 pages of a book, and I'm already like yawn, and then I go comatose for some hours. So, no, I'm afraid I sleep like the dead, my friend. Good morning, everybody. How are you? If you're here, please hit us up with the chit chat so we know that you're here and we can give you a shout out. I put out a new pre-roll on the Rumble this morning, so we have a new pre-roll. I put a couple of quotes from our comments on our videos in there, and I'll try to do that in the future too. Yeah.
Show your title before.
Oh yeah. I need to get better about doing this. So today's show, we want to know. Oh, come on, it's Kentucky's Fancy Feast, American Politics 2024. So I don't know. We'll find out.
I might have an opinion on this, considering that I live 10 miles down the road. From
look, it's no accident that I made this today's title. And we have some stuff to talk about. We got some political news we're going to talk about. There's some trans stuff. We're going to have to talk about the trans stuff. We're going to talk about I know we got some Marvel Cinematic news a little bit, and we got some TV stuff. So and some other movie stuff. So plenty of entertainment news to talk about this morning. Good morning, David. Fancy Feast, Fancy Farm. Did I get the name wrong?
Yeah, you got the name wrong. It's Fancy Farm.
Fancy Farm?
It was named when they went.
Oh, man, I took it from a political story.
Yeah, when they went to do a post office back in I think it may have been I don't remember when it was. Guy called it, the guy that was the first postmaster named it, and he called it Fancy Farm. I don't know why. I guess I feel
like I really stole this from real quick, but I may have misread it.
They probably said it Fancy Feast. They probably said it wrong because it was just I'll tell you about it here in a minute. Let's get to the song of the day and I'll tell you about it.
Yeah, let's do music.
This week I'm playing songs that JJ's going to like. I put this song in our on our Discord server a little earlier this morning, hoping I was like, maybe JJ will see this and he'll listen to it. The song today is one of my, I don't know if we've talked about this group. I probably have because I love them. I think this band is one of the best musical duos in history, in history, period. This song is called Poison and Wine. It is very, very powerful. The Civil Wars were a great band that were together a very, very short time. I think you're going to love this song. I think you'll like this. It's a very powerful, very romantic song. So listen to it. It's really good.
Their voices really harmonize really well.
They were songwriters, and they both went to they were just fledgling songwriters, and they both went to this songwriters workshop type deal in Nashville, and they got together with each other down there, and they realized that they clicked very well. And Joy and John are their names, and they clicked very well, and their voices complement each other beautifully. Their emotions in their voices, the romantic chemistry that they had between them, but they were not romantic at all. And that's why we don't have this band anymore, is because I believe the chemistry between them was so powerful.
Made their partners jealous.
And it made their own romantic, relationships troublesome because of their partnership. And if you were doing, you would do the same choice.
100%
choice. I hate the fact that we don't have the Civil Wars anymore, because they're freaking awesome.
Yeah.
I hate that they freaking do. Just type the Civil Wars band in YouTube and just listen to anything. Their version of Michael Jackson's Billie Jean will make you slap your grandmother. It's freaking the best.
I think we listened to that one before once.
Yeah,
I think we have listened to that one before.
It's the best.
So, I kind of hate to say it, but I had friends in high school that were my friends, but we got married, they became a complication on my relationship. And
me too. Yeah.
Hey, they're gone. You got to make choices in this life sometimes. And, that's not cool. That's not fun or whatever. Hey, you prioritize your family, and you prioritize your spouse over everybody else. You better, or you're going to make a big mistake in life. So I get that. That's respectable what they've done. If that's what they needed to do, they give up a career and success, and
and if you watch that video, you'll see at the very end of the video, they're singing to each other, and they're like this close to each other's face. You're like, ooh, that's really romantic. But then when you think about, they're not in a relationship. They both have their own partners. They're both, that's not, it kind of makes it a little uncomfortable, but
absolutely,
it's the song. That's why I don't like showing the videos. I always said, I want to show you, I want you to listen to the song. Listen to the song. The song's very powerful.
Sound on that one. Okay, so that's in our playlist over on Discord server. If you haven't already joined the Discord server, there's a link in the description below. It's just underneath the like button. I think you can find it.
Probably.
Okay. All right, so we got plenty to talk about. Oh, hey, don't let me forget to mention this. I picked this up this weekend, so it might fall off, and we may have to do it another day. Okay, so let's start with this. Fancy Farm. Yeah, I got it wrong. This is a story on Politico. I got a couple of pieces here. Let's see. Fancy Farm.
You mean give you a little? You mean tell you a little bit about what Fancy Farm is first?
If you want to set the stage, let's set the stage.
Fancy Farm is a small community with a post office in southern Graves County, Kentucky, which is on the far western end of Kentucky. Okay, this is where I live, and Graves County is the next county over from me. Fancy Farm is in there. It was a strong Catholic community in the late 1800s. A Catholic church was built on the site. St. Jerome's Parish is what the church is called. And St. Jerome's Parish always had, for the people around the community, they would have this little barbecue and this picnic and stuff. And it became like a little tradition every year. In Fancy Farm at St. Jerome's, they would have the little Fancy Farm picnic is what it was called. Fancy Farm picnic. And politicians would come, because back in the 1800s, 1900s, whatnot, they did it was like stumping. You know,
It's exactly what it was.
They would stand on a stump. And they would talk because the stump was a little taller than everybody else. They could stand there and talk, or they would be, you know, give their speeches from the backs of trains and train cars as they were moving on down the line. So they would come out to Fancy Farm and they would do their stump speeches. And you would have the Democrats over here, the Republicans over here. And back then, I'm sure you probably had a section of the fucking Whigs back there somewhere. And you'd have all these people up here and I'm going to do this, or you're a piece of shit, or I'm going to do this, or you're a piece of crap, you know, and they would do that. And they would have barbecue.
Fist fights.
They would have barbecue and bingo and all this stuff, and everybody from all around. And over the years, after 142 years, it's became a huge thing. And when Kentucky changed their political seasons, it kind of became the opening season of politics in Kentucky. It happens every year. On off years, we don't have as many, you know, big time politicians, but this thing has gotten so big that when a politician can't come to Fancy Farm, it makes the news. It's like, oh, the governor's not coming to Fancy Farm this year. The governor's not going, and everybody starts talking about it. Why is the governor not coming to Fancy Farm? Why is he not coming? Is he scared? Is he scared to get up there in front of everybody else and actually face off against people one-on-one? So that's basically what it is. We've had some big-time politician, freaking big-time politician. I mean, he is a big-time politician, I guess, even if he is an idiot. But in 1992, Al Gore came. Which I didn't come to see Al Gore because he's a moron. But
he's a national
politician.
Figure, right?
There were national politicians that had come to Fancy Farm before, but it's just a little bitty blink and you're gone. I think they've got a Catholic church and a hardware store and a dollar store. You know, and I think that's all Fancy.
Oh, really? So it's very small. Very small. Is it one of those towns that has like a main street that's just got like antique shops on it?
No, it don't even have that. The country road comes into town and it hits a T. All right. Okay. And right at that T is like a line of shops where the hardware store and stuff is. And you go right and you go out to farms and stuff like that and whatnot. You go left and that's where the rest of the main road that goes on through the county, and it goes on past the school and the dollar store and down to the other church, the Baptist and the Methodist church down the road, you know. So that's what Fancy Farm is. It is an old-timey politician, you know, political speaking event that has been around for so long that it has gained it's always had bad statewide attention, but it also has gained national attention. So there's the history of Fancy Farm. 1881 is when it got started.
So let's see. Here's Fancy Farm. Oh, Fancy Farm is like southwest of Paducah. So that's where. So yeah. So they have this kind of event, and political figures come out and they start, you know, stumping and doing little speeches and stuff. And I guess this happened this weekend. It was
just this past weekend. Yeah.
So Republican.
Since I've worked at this radio station, I don't have to go out, but I have had to, in my past many years, have to take a radio station van and go out and interview people and, you know, do stuff. So I've been to many Fancy Farm picnics.
So it looks like the Democrats and the Republicans were out there this last weekend testing out messages for the 2024 season.
They dress up, they have signs, they do chants, it gets gnarly. It gets gnarly sometimes.
So it looks like the Democrats are trying to tout their political message for 2024. They're testing the message of economics. Hey, inflation's not as bad as it was, and you know we didn't enter a recession and stuff like that. Yeah. So they're testing this message, even though most Americans have a dismal view of the economy right now, and the term Bidenomics has been floating around on media quite a bit lately. Biden is trying to reclaim that term and flip the meaning of the word into something that is more positive, like, hey, we're doing a good job over here. And the Republicans are testing out sort of an anti-woke message, right? Rejecting cancel culture, maybe rejecting this DEI stuff, rejecting the preferential treatment of men that pretend to be women in sports and things like that. So both of the kind of parties, I think you had your governor out there. You probably had your former governor. So you had Andy Beshear out there.
Andy
you probably
Beshear
had your
was
former
there.
governor.
And then I know Daniel Cameron. He is the attorney general, but he's also running on the Republican side against Andy Beshear this year. He was also out there. Most of them were out there. Mitch McConnell was out there, and that's what. That's something that I want to bring up. So bring up what up what they say about Mitch McConnell, and then I want to read you something else.
So here's the Mitch McConnell story. Mitch McConnell heckled. With chance of retire at a Kentucky event.
So what? So this is coming from the website The Hill. You can see it up there underneath our Discord thing. I'll remove our Discord QR code so you can see it's The Hill is where this comes from. Okay.
Yeah. The Hill.
The Hill. There you go.
Real news. Yeah. Heckled with chance of retire.
Yeah.
So he's 81 years old. This is his 28th appearance at the fancy farm.
Yeah.
And he was there with Andy Beshear, Democrat, and Beshear, and Daniel Cameron. So Attorney General Daniel Cameron, both running for governor, I believe.
Andy Beshear we call King Andy because when COVID happened, he basically said, "Fuck you, Kentuckians. I don't give a shit what you say. I'm the king. I make the fucking choices." And he shut down shit. He shut down fucking everything. Shit that he ruined businesses because we fucking hate this guy.
So
and
Mitch McConnell
his dad was governor before him. Steve Beshear. He was a piece of shit too. And they tried for decades to try to get gambling passed in Kentucky. And guess what just got passed in Kentucky this year?
Gambling?
Ding, ding, ding. What do we got for him, Johnny?
Hey, but your schools are going to get funded, right?
Hey, whatever.
Okay. Hey, we're up against, so this is Mitch McConnell's quote. We're up against folks who want to give you record high inflation. We're up against folks who closed schools. He didn't speak this fast. And then you told you that teachers unions know what's best for your kids. We're up against folks who would rather let repeat offenders walk free than get tough on crime. That was McConnell's statement. And the crowd respond with boo, hiss, and retire. And the crowd also chanted, lost the Senate, referring to the Republicans' loss of the Senate majority after the 2020 election. And shame on you. Mitch McConnell has drives the reins of the biggest Republican fundraising apparatus for national elections. He's in control of that thing. And they did not allocate funds in order for the competitive states in the 2020 election to win. He was trying to torpedo the Trump presidency. He was not trying to win the Senate. Mitch McConnell knows that if he's the minority Senate leader, or if it's a 50-50 tie, then he has more power because he has bargaining power to make deals with the crossover Democrats. So Mitch McConnell, not a good guy. Not a good guy.
So
not fighting his hardest.
Let me read to you the article that I read on Monday from the Fancy Farm. This particular.
Hey, hold on. Let me pause you for just for a second. I can't say your name, sir, but we have a comment over on Rumble that you may have a little more insight to. They say they can't fire him. They can't fire Mitch McConnell, I guess. And I'm gonna just call you DH, buddy. Can't say this on the stream. My granddad in nursing home at 79. So
yeah, no, right.
So I mean, people got families that are vulnerable to the whims and of people like King Beshear. Did you call him King Beshear?
Yeah, King Andy.
King Andy. All right. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Please continue. Hey, thanks for watching DH.
I don't remember what I was talking about.
We like to get those numbers up. You know what I'm saying, DH?
Why are you afraid to say dickhead on the...
I just don't want to say it.
Okay. Your girls might be around. I don't remember what I was talking about. What was I talking about?
I don't know. I just said that McConnell lost the Senate, and shame on you.
I was going to read to you my story. Okay, so this is a story that came through on Monday for me in my local news from our local place that, it was one of the local news places that we get our news and cycle our news through. And this was a local person that went out to the fancy farm, that lives in this area, that probably makes $30,000 a year. All right. This is what they had to say. They're just doing their freaking job. They don't have an agenda, is what I'm getting at. This person, it does not have an agenda like the reporter on the Hill. They don't have a freaking editor like the editors on the Hill. They're just writing for a small newspaper.
Okay.
U.S. Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell received a rousing welcome from the party faithful Saturday at the Fancy Farm picnic amid scrutiny of his health after the 81-year-old lawmaker froze up mid-sentence during a recent Capitol Hill news conference. "This is my 28th Fancy Farm, and I want to assure you it's not my last," McConnell said at the top of his breakfast speech before the annual picnic. That's the traditional jumping-off point for the fall campaign season in Kentucky. McConnell, widely regarded as the main architect of the GOP's rise to power in Kentucky, arrived to a prolonged standing ovation and promoted the candidacy of a protege running for governor this year. Later at the picnic, McConnell made a pitch for the GOP statewide ticket in November, which is led by Daniel Cameron, former McConnell staffer, who's the party. So he basically pitched Daniel Cameron because he's a Republican too.
Well, that doesn't seem to be the same sort of story.
Arrived to a prolonged standing ovation and promoted the candidacy of a protege.
Can you describe this sound as an ovation?
That's it. That's what a standing ovation sounds like. Holy crap. That was magic.
It's like one of these publications is not telling the truth.
One of these things is not
like the other.
I'm not trying to paint a picture in I am trying to paint a picture.
Yeah, of course you are.
I'm letting you see. You would have never seen my little story, right? And my little story,
that's true.
You would have never read this story that I read on my air that come from my local little website. You would have never found it. Okay,
that's a good point. We gotta have more of that.
But you would have found the Hill, and the Hill has an agenda. And the Hill worded things and left. If not telling you the whole truth is lying too.
So was Mitch McConnell celebrated or was he booed? Because the Hill's saying he was booed.
Both. He was both because Democrats and Republicans are both there. But when you read the average person that reads the Hill story is like, everybody hates this asshole. Everybody don't hate the asshole. He had a prolonged standing ovation.
Okay.
I'm not saying Mitch McConnell's good or bad, or I'm not advocating for Mitch McConnell. I'm pointing out the hypocrisy of the shit that you read on the fucking internet.
Absolutely. That's true. You can't, you must take all of this with like a wheelbarrow of salt.
Not a grain, a dump truck load.
A whole bunch. All right. We got one more political story, and then we'll get on some other stuff. We have talked a little.
Bottom of the hour, seeing the clock at the bottom of the hour, I'm like, oh my God, we got 6 minutes. We got to hurry. And I'm like, oh no, we got a lot.
We got to retrain ourselves. Hey, but I think this 8 o'clock thing worked out really good yesterday.
Yeah, it's working good.
And, I have more time to prep. So here's the from Breitbart News. Robert F. Kennedy says the border control is love, not hate. Love, not hate. Border control is not hate. It is not go away brown Mexicans. It is stop trafficking, stop trafficking of women, stop trafficking of children, stop trafficking of narcotics, stop control of cartels, stop the illegal activity that is harmful, not just of the direct participants, but of the wake of all the people around it and the people that live on the border. Border control is love. Having a closed border and a door that we can open is a good idea. That's a good idea. Robert F. Kennedy.
Where was the tweet at that I saw? I thought I posted it somewhere.
Well, I don't know what tweet you mean.
He's got immigration.
And maybe we'll run into it. I got a tweet string here that I want to run through real quick. So Robert F. Kennedy, by the way, if you don't know, is the nephew of JFK, the son of Bobby Kennedy. Both JFK and Bobby Kennedy were assassinated in the 60s as presidential candidates or as the president. Democrats and Republicans can agree that the humanitarian nightmare that has resulted is from essentially handling immigration policy to the drug cartels is not acceptable. I am in favor of immigration. It must be lawful, orderly, and at a volume the country can absorb without straining social resources. All of this makes sense, right? And I find myself, for one of the few times in my life, like agreeing with a Democrat. Ruthless cartel criminals have woven drugs, immigration, and human trafficking together into a multi-billion-dollar business. The Biden administration policy has greatly exacerbated the situation. The border is out of control. Immigration is being administered by the cartels, not our government. And just as a cell has a membrane, a country has to have a border or it will disintegrate.
No shit. All right, let me show you this. Let me show you this tweet. I found it. This tweet that came up. And you can check the numbers on this if you want to. I'm not going to check the damn numbers. 449,000 Californians turned down jury duty because they were illegal aliens and not U.S. citizens, but they were registered to vote.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
400
we can't do jury duty. We're illegal.
1,000 illegal aliens that were registered to vote.
Well, those 449,000 couldn't tilt an election, could they? Hey, over on Rumble Chat, Ozark saying he's heard good things about ground.news. So so first of all, all the time we talk about like news is just lies and lying and lying and lying. Ground.news is pretty cool for the ability for it to give you kind of a to zoom out from a story a little bit and see how other ideological camps are treating the same story. So absolutely, you should check ground.news. And if you are into reading news or whatever, it kind of helps you check your bias a little bit. They have an extension you can put in your browser, and you can see like when you find a story, like let's see, here's the, let me reload this Mitch McConnell story. Okay, here it goes. I'm going to pull this up just for a second. You guys should definitely check it out. I don't know about giving them money, but so this is thehill.com, Mitch McConnell story. And here at ground.news at the top, the bias is split across 21 sources. So there's a bunch of different organizations, the Independent, New York Post, Newsweek, whatever, a bunch of different places carrying the same story with different titles or whatever. Some of those, about half of them are consumed mostly by the right. And about a third of them are consumed by the left, and about 15% are basically neutral in the way they handle stories. So it gives you a way to check your bias. Deacon's so bored.
Yes, God Almighty, this is so boring.
Yeah, all right.
Shit, and I'm like, oh my God.
All right, I got something for you, Deke. Let's see. Should we do
trans stuff? Because I got plenty. We got to get rid of this stuff. I want to delete it from. So I quit looking at it.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, do you love Marvel? You love Disney? You love those cartoons? You love those live reaction remakes? You love that company? It's been such a good, wholesome thing for your kids. Well, check it out. They are now partnering with a TikTok trans influencer to promote girls' apparel. Disney teams up with transgender TikTok influencer to promote girls' apparel. I literally look like Minnie Mouse. I don't want to play this video, but this guy, that's obviously a dude, goes through one of those, you've seen those little videos where they like hold up the dress and then they like pop it or whatever and they just cut to a thing where they're wearing it. This guy goes through this for 2 minutes and he's putting on dress and stockings and slippers and a bow. And so I don't care what he does in his own house or whatever, but who is this aimed at? This is aimed at my kids. So
your daughters.
F you, Disney. I won't say dickhead, but I'll say fuck Disney.
Okay. Let's see.
I get mad. I get mad about this.
Right. So I ran across this. I wanted to bring this up yesterday when I was bored going through Twitter. I'm not going to play this video, but I'm.
Sorry, wrong way.
Read you this. Transgender Bud Light influencer Dylan Mulvaney has cost Anheuser-Busch $27 billion in value. This man here is Billy Bush, former owner. He says Bud Light is no longer America's beer, and his father and grandfather would have rolled over in their graves. I think people who drink beer, I think they're your common folk. I think they are the blue-collar worker who goes and works hard every single day. The last
Yeah.
thing they want pushed down their throat is a beer can with that kind of message on it. I just don't think that's what they're looking for. They want their beer to be truly American, truly patriotic, and it always has been truly America's beer, which Bud Light was and probably isn't any longer. That's coming from the former. That's coming from a Busch. His last name is Busch.
Busch.
Yeah.
You know, not the political one, the beer one.
Right.
I wonder if he still owns stock in the company. I wonder.
You think? All right, I got some more for you.
We got Riley. You got Riley Gaines
with the transgender stuff? No.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Then let me get this one because Riley Gaines, who, if you recall, we've covered before. Leah Thompson won that medal and took it right out of Riley Gaines' hand. You know, like she got to stand with it and take a photo, and then had to give it to Leah Thompson, the swimmer, because Mr. Leah Thompson got to take that trophy home. And you know, Riley Gaines has come out in the last year or so and has been a real kind of hero in terms of advocating for girls sports,
female sports.
Riley Gaines hails the Texas law banning transgender athletes from a women's college sports teams. So the National Collegiate Athletics Association swimmers Riley Gaines and Paula Scanlon praised Governor Abbott from Texas for banning transgender athletes from women's collegiate sports teams and decried the fact that such a law was even necessary.
Yep.
So another big shout out. Anytime I see her in the headlines, I want to lift her up a little bit and just remind everybody that this young woman, right? This young woman was once your daughter, your little girl who dreamed of competing in sports and you know, making her own impression, you know, in sports and doing as best as she could. She trained her whole life. And then some dude who stinks at swimming for men's competitions puts on a bikini and, you know, takes away from her the opportunity that she had to make a mark in history, as she was like the fastest swimmer. And so anyway, I just want to lift up Riley Gaines there. Okay. All right. That's the trans stuff.
She was a UK alum, wasn't she? University
of Kentucky? Yeah, I think so. I actually think so. You say UK, I'm like,
no, yeah, you say UK.
Keaton Bass.
UK everywhere else is the United Kingdom, but only in this small section of the United States that we call Kentucky. When you say UK around here, that's the University of Kentucky.
Yeah.
Okay, I got one for you here.
Okay.
Okay, if you'll look at my beautiful look at this. Look at me.
Your thought dome.
I shaved. You see?
Oh.
And if you'll look down here, this is the only spot that I actually use a razor and shaving cream. It's down here. Okay.
Okay.
I don't like the straight razor shave everything. Straight razor shaving has always been a bitch for me for years. Okay.
Really?
My hair grows this way. It grows this way. It grows down. So by the time I've shaved, I get bumps and I hate it. So that's why I've always kind of just have a 3-day growth all the time because I hate shaving. It ruins my skin.
You get the sunlight, you can see my beard.
Always had to buy the razors and, you know, the big fancy razors, the $30 freaking razors. And I would bitch like everybody else. I'm like, are we having a razor shortage? What the hell? Why are razors so expensive? So when the Dollar Shave Club came out and all these, I was like, yeah, I was a part of that one for a long time, the Dollar Shave Club, until I got older. And then, you know, the older guys are just kind of like, screw it. I ain't shaving. I'm going to grow a beard. The only time I'm going to shave all the way is if I've got to go somewhere really nice and my wife makes me shave. Other than that, I'm not freaking shaving. So I'm bringing this up because there's a lot of guys out there that shave that probably don't want to spend a lot of money, and they've either joined the Dollar Shave Club or Harry's Razors. Have you heard about Harry's Razors?
I had a Harry's razor for a couple years, probably like 5 years ago.
Ooh,
and it's even got my initials on it, and I don't buy Harry's razors no more.
It's a good thing you don't spend money with Harry's Razors anymore because they've partnered with a trans man, a female, to promote their razor set. 100% of the profits from this set go to the Trevor Project. The Trevor Project promotes gender surgeries for minors. So here's the CEO of Harry's Razors right here.
Balanced dynamic, and made the co-parenting thing really hard to actually live in practice. And so, that experience, was one that led us to this conclusion that, hey, we need not just a general parental leave policy, but an equal parental leave policy that treats birthing and non-birthing parents equally.
Birthing and non-birthing parents. That's moms and dads.
These people are part of seriously, they're part of a cult, dude.
Look, I just want to point out one thing here real quick. You see both of these guys that are obviously with Harry's Razors?
Yeah.
These fucking guys can't grow a beard. This guy looks like a 14-year-old freaking middle. This guy looks like he's 16 years old in high school. My son in high school's got a bigger beard than these two schmoes. Good God Almighty. I shaved last night. Yeah. So, yeah, I will not be buying Harry's Razors anymore. Not buy Harry's Razors.
I'm probably not buying razors for a while, but if I do buy a razor, it might be Jeremy's razor, not Harry's Razors.
All right, we got one more.
That's awful, dude.
Yeah.
Trevor Project. Yeah. Kids. These are kids. These are children. They're children.
I got one
fucking
more.
Assholes.
So, do you remember the rapper Neo?
Oh, yeah.
Neo. Neo. Okay?
Okay.
So Neo, I'm going to tell you a little bit about him. Neo's about our age. Neo came out not too long ago. He was asked a question about transgender and stuff like that. And his opinion was that he don't think that should be taught to our kids. And he don't think that the kids, he believes like us. He don't believe that kids should be making a life freaking changing decision at that age.
You do you, but don't let 5-year-olds decide their gender. They don't know anything.
That's exactly.
You do you. Don't do that to kids,
though. You want to be LGBTQ?
Yeah, whatever, man. I ain't into that, but
one of them, all right? There's a line with the minors. That's where our fucking line is, okay? You want to do whatever freaky shit you want to. The line is like minors and animals, all right? That's where the line is. Anyway, Neo, he came out and said that, well, of course, what do you think the Alphabet Squad did to him? The Kool-Aid plan killed him. Yeah, immediately.
Cancel.
So this came out.
And I saw this yesterday. I was like, oh, he bitched out and apologized.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I was wrong.
This is what tell the story. This is what Neo said. This is what came out on this is his Twitter and his social media. After much reflection, I'd like to express my deepest apologies to anyone that I may have hurt with my comments on parenting and gender identity. I've always been an advocate for love and inclusivity. Is that the word? Inclusivity? In LGBTQ community. So I understand how my comments could have been interpreted as insensitive and offensive. Gender identity is nuanced, and I can honestly admit that I plan to better educate myself on the topic so that I can approach future conversations with more
better educate.
At the end of the day, I lead with love and support from everyone's freedom of expression and pursuit of happiness. So, man, he did. He kind of funked out.
When was the last time you ever said out of your own mouth about yourself, I need to better educate myself? I need to better educate myself.
When have you ever said that? So, wait a minute. Hold up. This story ain't over yet. I got 2 minutes here.
Yeah.
So, I'm not.
So I thought, oh, he punked out. He punked out because he's getting canceled by the cancel mob. You gotta pander to the LGBT quas.
And then as told JJ, I was like, oh no, you haven't seen, as Paul Harvey would say, the rest of the story. All right, so let's get the rest of the story.
What's going on, loved ones? This is Neo. All right, listen. I normally don't give too much of a damn about what y'all think about what I do, what y'all have to say about what I say, whatever. I normally don't care because, like I said, opinions ain't special. Everybody got one. However, this is something I feel very strongly on, and I need y'all to hear this from the horse's mouth, not the publicist's computer. So check this out. First and foremost, I do not apologize for having an opinion on this matter. I am a 43-year-old heterosexual man raising 5 boys and 2 girls, okay? That's my reality. Now, if my opinion offended somebody, yeah, sure, I apologize for you being offended because that wasn't my intention. My intention is never to offend anybody. However, I'm entitled to feel how I feel. I'm absolutely entitled to feel how I feel the same way you are entitled to feel how you feel. I ain't asked nobody to follow me. I ain't asked nobody to agree with me. I was asked a question and I answered the damn question. Okay? I have no beef with the LGBTQIA plus community whatsoever. I ain't got no beef with y'all. Do whatever the hell it is you want to do. Do what you want to do with your kids. However, somebody asked my opinion on this matter, and this is how I feel. I will never be okay with allowing a child to make a decision that detrimental to their life. I will never be okay with that. I don't care. I definitely plan to educate myself a little bit more on this matter. However, I doubt that there's any book anywhere or any opinion that somebody's going to tell me that's going to make me okay with letting a child make a decision like that. That's just period, point blank, and that's how I feel. If I get canceled for this, then you know what? Maybe this is a world where they don't need a Neo no more, all right? And I got no problem with that. I'm a hustler, all right? I'll figure it out. I got kids to raise, and I'm going to do that regardless.
All right.
So with that being said,
Preach.
y'all have a good day. I love everybody. Live how you want to live, love how you want to love, but your opinion is yours.
That's basically what he says the same thing over and over
That's
again.
it right there.
He parrots.
That's it. That's it.
So that was
And
the.
it sounds like he took issue with that little bit of language too, because I was like, better educate myself.
Yeah, he did. He did. It's like I am going to better.
I'm definitely going to better educate myself.
If I find anything, he didn't.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna get that publicist fired. Is what he didn't say?
Yeah, you know.
Yeah,
somebody.
Ozark says that was sweet. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of want to follow Neo, even though I don't really know.
I kind of want to.
But obviously, his Twitter account is fucking run by somebody else.
Yeah, his Twitter
I don't
account
know.
is ran by somebody else, obviously.
I might
follow
go
him.
follow Neo. Okay, we got 18 minutes left.
Cool.
Let's do entertainment. Entertainment. And by the way, before we even get started on this, I just kind of want to tease. We don't even have a title yet. We don't have a card. I don't have any art yet. But guys, starting soon, maybe next week, maybe the week after, I don't know. We're gonna start doing a segment for the MC eulogy. I like that word, MC eulogy. We're gonna talk. Yeah, we're gonna do MC eulogy. So we're gonna do bits on a daily show for starting
MCU.
Yeah, we're gonna deliver the MC eulogy. So we invite you to kind of tune in and check it out with us. We're gonna go from the very beginning, and we're gonna go kind of just a little bit at a time. We're gonna go through the movies. We're not gonna cover them in detail. We're just gonna talk about how we felt about
a short little thing.
Yeah, it'll be, and we're just gonna talk about how we felt about each different thing. And there's gonna be some shows and some movies probably that you've never seen, and you might be like, "Oh, I've seen all of that stuff." You haven't.
And there's going to be some that we've never seen that you've seen.
Yeah.
So you nerd dads out there, we need your opinions on some of these stuff too. And like I said, it's going to be just a short little segment that we do.
It won't be long.
That we're going to cover like one movie or two movies every day. And
as we go into,
and then where do you think this helped with the MCU and on the we're gonna try to find where the MCU jumped the shark.
Yeah, we're gonna wade into it and figure out because if you look back now, you're like some went wrong.
Somewhere it went wrong somewhere.
Yeah,
and we both have our opinions on where it went wrong, but we want to and with all everybody's saying that the MCU's dying. That's the rumblings is the MCU is dying.
Well, Marvel and Disney has lost like $800 million, almost $1 billion this year on movies. They've put out movies that have not made money to the tune of $1 billion. So something went wrong.
That shows you how much the talking heads, the uneducated, mouthy people on the internet can influence things. I'm one of these people that I usually, if everybody was like, that movie sucked, I always was like, I liked the movie for some reason. It wasn't that I was trying to go against the grain all the time. It was that I never was one of those people. If everybody liked red shirts, I just didn't like red shirts. I liked blue shirts. I've always been different. I've always been that way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and you know what? You have like there's some stuff that I'm like, oh, I didn't like this, and you're like, oh no, I liked it just fine. And that's been several times. We talked about different movies, different MCU shows, we did various different things where you would think that we're not that close.
That I told you that I really enjoyed that I finished over the weekend was Secret Invasion. What was wrong with it? Me and Deacon sat there and watched that, and I was like, And I was explaining to Deacon, he was catching the last part, the last 3 episodes with me sitting there with me. And I was explaining to him what all was going on and everything and and I was like, the cinematic universe is basically mixed with the comic universe's Secret Wars and Secret Invasion. And they've meshed it together, but they've had to change it because of this. And they didn't have the Fantastic Four. So they've had to do this and do this. And I thought they did a great job considering the story that they were telling. And Deacon was like, yeah, I thought it was pretty good. It's like, but everybody's bitching about it. And I don't even know why. I'm getting so
okay.
wild.
Okay. All right. Save it. Because this is going to be a good series. We're going to do it, but maybe next week, maybe starting the week after. I'm not sure yet. I think I just had an idea of like an intro thing. Okay.
Well, this was, you've got a story.
Yeah.
Did I put the story in about that, or did you?
I put this,
the Don Cheadle story?
Oh, no, I didn't get that one. We'll get to that too. We haven't got to that. We got
that's exactly what we're talking about. Secret Invasion.
Oh, okay. Well, we happen to be there. Where's Don Cheadle at? Is it here? Here, we'll do that one first. It's in the same segment. It's in that Marvel segment.
It's in the segment. And then we were talking, I like Secret Invasion. And Don Cheadle's character in Secret Invasion was mostly a Skrull. What's his name? Rhodey was Rhodes. What's his name?
Rhodey.
Yeah, Rhodey.
But he was Scrody.
There. Yeah, this was Scrody. This was the Skull Rhodey.
Yeah.
Skrull the whole time.
Here, you cover this one because this reminds me of one from the other day. So you cover this one. I'm going to pull the other one up. It's very related.
I didn't read this one.
Okay.
But this was the reveal. You didn't do it. It's the tweet. You see this Skrull taking a shower and everything at the first of the one of the episodes right there, and then right there the Skrull's taking the shower and looking into the mirror, and then she wipes the fog away, and it's Don Cheadle looking into the mirror, and you're like, oh my god, because he's already done 2 or 3 things that you've just been like, holy shit, did he just do that?
Right.
I can't believe that he done that. I can't believe he's got
so this there's the question of when it became Skrull Rhodey. Was it?
Well, why is it says that...
You know what? It would have been a good time for it to be Skrull Rhodey? Right between Iron Man 1 and Iron Man 2, whenever the actor completely changed his appearance.
Yeah, that would have been a good one. When they got rid of what's his name.
Like, how come nobody noticed that you look totally different, bro?
That would have been a good one.
So the director of, and I don't have this up right now because you just reminded me of it. But I tweeted it. This guy tweeted the other day. The director of the Secret Invasion was like, there was a news story floating around that he said, I'm worried about death threats because the way we did the story, it might be like during Endgame and Tony's death scene, that could have been Skrull Rhodey. So I'm worried about death threats. And I tweeted at him and I was like, bro, nobody cares. Cash your paycheck. There is nobody that cares that could have been a Skrull at Iron Man 3 at the end of Endgame. But, it's these people are inflating these bogus death threat stuff in order to protect them from criticism of like, oh, we didn't like your show. And there's a lot of people that didn't like Secret Invasion. You liked it. I watched 1 episode and I was like, whatever. I honestly forgot to watch the rest of it.
But I criticized you for watching 1 episode because that's like looking at a comic book and looking at just looking at the word bubbles. All right.
No, it's like reading 1 issue and not picking up the rest.
Yeah, that's like having a 6-issue set and reading the first one and not reading. That sucked. Yeah. I didn't like that issue. Well,
yeah. Okay.
Watch the whole thing.
I gotta sit through it if I'm not interested.
Yes. Same with Andor.
No. Told you, man. That thing was so slow.
You have to. I watched. Part of the story is taking the journey.
I watched the first episode twice because the first time I was so bored, I was playing on my phone and I was like, oh man. So I had to go back and watch it again.
Why were you bored?
Why was I bored?
Because you were playing on your phone. Put the shit down and watch and pay attention to the story.
All right.
I like my kids.
Yes, Dad. All right. Marvel Studios VFX workers are filing to join the IATSE union. So about 50 workers signed authorization cards, indicated that they wanted to be represented by the union. So the current state of affairs is that Hollywood writers are on strike. and so they're not working or getting paid. Actors are on strike, so they're, solidarity with the writers, and also they got their own contract issues, so they're not working and not getting paid. And now the VFX workers, who we've heard many stories about Disney and Marvel not paying them enough money or whatever. They basically, Marvel and Disney are like, have a very thin budget for VFX, and they're just like, they're churning this stuff out.
VFX, visual effects is fucking 99% of Disney and Marvel.
Yeah, no joke.
The freaking stories are shit. Okay, in every Disney and Marvel, every story that is a something that can be churned out of a Chat GPT session. Okay, the visual effects, that's what the V stands for, VFX, visual effects. Though that is 90% of, just think about any Marvel movie. How much visual effects? They're not standing on those sets. They're standing in a green room, in a green screen, standing there with a bunch of green freaking, tumble mats around them. They're not
volume VFX thing.
Yes, they look. Just watch the credits of a freaking one of those damn Marvel's movies and try to count how many hundreds of visual effects artists there were.
So, I will say, I have limited opinions on this. One, the VFX for a lot of shows lately, not so great. But I'm willing to forgive that, But like, there's some stuff that you're just like, whatever. Like, especially, I don't know, you see like a Spider-Man flying around and it looks like, oh, that's a CGI Spider-Man. And then they cut to like a real guy or whatever.
We're too sissified, by God, because just go back and watch one freaking season of Star Trek: The Next Generation and you'd be count how many times you cringe from the visual effects that we never noticed until we go back, because we're
I'm just saying.
I can't go back and play Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. I bought Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, the old one, for my PlayStation, and I tried to go back and play it, and I got a little bit into
it's not doable.
I can't do it because the graphics are so damn terrible.
It's so, okay, so you care too about what
the graphics were terrible.
If it distracts from the story, then it's a problem.
Exactly. I've said that about comic books since I was 13 years old.
Right.
I bought the comic books that were visually appealing to my eye. And I read those stories. X-Men, X-Force, any of the Rob Liefeld over freaking exaggerated superheroes with gigantic guns. I didn't read the freaking Fantastic Four or any shit like that. Didn't do. So same way back then.
So apparently the VFX industry has basically been non-union since the late 70s. And these 50 Marvel workers are basically trying to start a union. I mean, I'm not pro-union, so good luck, God bless, but the people that form a union, whenever layoffs come around, they're at the front of the line for, these people cost us a lot more money.
Yeah, but you don't live in if you lived here in Kentucky, your opinion on unions might drastically change.
Yeah. I imagine
because Kentucky is a state where they can walk in today and go, JJ, you look stupid. I'm firing you. And you can't do shit. You can go and try to file an appeal and you might get a little bit of unemployment for a little while, but it don't matter. You're not getting your fucking job back because Kentucky is not a right to work state. I was fired from the radio station, and the first thing the guy said was, I can fire you for the clothes you wear. And I was like, I'm not leaving your office until you give me a good enough reason. And finally, after about 45 minutes, he got pissed off and said, you're not good enough. And I was like, fine, that's a legitimate reason. I don't agree with you because I was number one, but I will. So it's better than I don't like the clothes you're wearing for it. Right?
Does having a union is the problem the fact that there's unions, not unions, or is it that the law is?
If I had a union,
right to work,
you wouldn't have been able to come in and do that shit. And if I had a union, I would be able to. I would be able to probably get a salary increase from the bullshit that I make that they rape me with, but I don't.
Texas is a right to work state, but we don't really have unions. Maybe there's unions, but they're not. They don't have any, power here like they do in especially the east part of the country, and I guess California and the west side. Okay, Anyway, so Marvel VFX workers are trying to unionize. Okie doke. Let's see. We got some. We got a few minutes left. So there's some news that Paramount's streaming losses have narrowed to $424 million as they inch up their subscribers to 61 million. So Paramount has, I guess it's not Peacock. What is that? It must be Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus. That's where you can go watch Star Trek Discovery and Star Trek Prodigy and whatever, all the Star Trek stuff. Well, apparently their streaming service is not profitable, and but they're losing less money than last year. So I guess that's a win. So okie doke, Paramount. They're short $424 million this year compared to that's just this quarter. Is that the quarter? Oh, wow. That's just this quarter. Holy shit. So Paramount this quarter is down $424 million compared to last quarter where they were down $511 million and $445 million a year ago. So
that's the CBS
Paramount. Paramount is just losing tons of money, but they're losing a little bit less money this quarter. Good job, Paramount.
Well, there hasn't been anything Paramount-wise that I have really looked forward to. Right here, recently added Transformers Rise of the Beasts. So Rise of the Beasts is on there. I can watch. Hang on, let me just... Oh, crap, I accidentally hit the wrong button. Let me show you what the big thing is. The Star Wars originals. Strange New Worlds, Star Trek Strange New Worlds, which is really good.
Yeah, I've heard good reviews about that, although there's like a musical episode that looked weird.
There was a couple of musical episodes and some of those other shit that we've watched.
Okay.
Rabbit Hole with Kiefer Sutherland, Joe Pickett, and then they've got like 1923 and 1883. Those. So yeah. I mean, they've got some stuff, but they've also got stuff like RuPaul's All Stars, and you know all there's the Dungeons and Dragons movie. There's Major League, Full Metal Jacket. Yeah, they've got all the Star Trek stuff on there. So that's where I go. That's where I was watching all my Voyager and Next Generation, and I haven't watched Deep Space Nine over again, but so I was watching all my Star Trek stuff again.
So Paramount is going to be kind of stretching out their production budget a little bit to kind of like give to kind of be more efficient in the production of their shows.
Well, but they probably need to, because this is I don't know if this is worth it. I don't pay for this. This is an exchange. This is a borrowed program. You give me yours, I give you mine. Okay, cool. We both got it.
That's the way we do things in the South.
That's the way we do things in the South.
Loan it out. So on Monday, Paramount Global announced that they're going to sell the book publishing agent Simon & Schuster, and it'll be sold to a private equity firm, KKR, for $1.62 billion. So Paramount apparently was in the book business, and Simon & Schuster was
their book,
they're a big one. Yeah. And but I guess they're selling off this asset so they can continue to fund their media empire. And you know, it probably Simon & Schuster. I mean, printing books is probably less and less profitable as we go.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
All right. So that's Paramount, and they're not the only ones kind of in a fickle. You ever watch Jeopardy?
Yep.
Yeah. Like maybe Jeopardy. Maybe not since Alex, right? You used to probably watch
another prime example. I like Mayim Bialik.
Oh yeah.
Everybody hates her. Everybody hates her. They want Ken Jennings. Blossom.
Oh.
So Ken Jennings and her are taking turns doing hosting duties.
Okay.
All right. And everybody hates her. They love him. They hate her, and they don't want her to come back anymore. I like her. In a Hollywood, in a legacy Hollywood big media game show, Jeopardy 40th season. How do you make a game show where people answer questions if you can't hire writers because they're on strike? Writers because they're on strike. You recycle questions.
The answer is you just use old questions. So they're going to recycle questions and contestants for season 40. So hey, those writers, they did not have a lot of leverage right now for their strike. Okay, I got one more thing, Deke. did you watch the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon movie that just came out? You probably not. Yeah, I think you
No.
would have told me.
No.
Have you seen the trailer for it or anything like that?
I seen the controversy surrounding it.
The controversy? Is it this controversy?
I think so. When it was first announced, I heard the controversy around it, and I
Teenage
saw it.
Mutant Ninja Turtles is not on my radar. I watched the original movie in the theaters back in like 1990, and then the sequel with Shredder and Vanilla Ice. I think it was.
Go Ninja, go Ninja,
go Ninja, go Ninja, go. Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. I mean, and that stuff was fun. And I've seen the other live action movies. I saw the movie that didn't Michael Bay do one a few years ago.
Yeah, they were really good, man.
Yeah,
I liked
it was
those.
pretty fun.
I really liked the new ones.
So for me, this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem came out of nowhere as an animated movie. So like it wasn't on my radar. And and my kids are too young for this, so it's still not really on my radar. But I did see people complaining about it, or some people liked it, some people didn't like it. Apparently, that Turtles themselves were pretty good, but like Ethan Van Sciver was on Twitter complaining about a lot of the design. And one of the characters that gets a little bit of design, the character designer is defending his changes. So let me pull this up. If you haven't already seen, here we have several different depictions of April O'Neil. This is the April O'Neil from the, can you see my cursor? There you go. April O'Neil from the original cartoon. This one, I don't know which movie she was in. I can't imagine why people would have.
That's from the original. That's from the one that you watched from the 90s.
Oh, well, okay.
From the 90s.
It's been 30 years, so forgive me for not remembering. This is the one. Yeah, Megan Fox. Yeah, I think that's Megan Fox from the Michael Bay version. Yeah. And then I guess this is a more recent cartoon. So the designer brought in and we're like, okay, we're going to have to redesign these characters. And
so wait a minute. So if I'm telling you, JJ, as a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle person, April O'Neil.
April O'Neil.
You've got
Intrepid
to describe her in as
Okay.
little words as possible to get the full effect. Because I'm fixing to draw. I've never heard a person, but you need to give me as little words as possible. 3 words to describe April O'Neil. So that I can draw.
Plucky redhead in yellow.
Plucky redhead in yellow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I think. All right. So let's see how the costume designer decided this should go. Let's look at here we go. Is this April O'Neil that's in the what is going on? Why does she look like a dump truck? Come on, dude. It's a superhero movie. This is the one human that will talk to these turtles, and she looks like a turtle. Jeez. Dude. So here's some, let's see if I can pull his tweet up. I guess he posted this as like real proud of his work. So plucky, redhead. I mean, what's up with these grandma pants back here? Okay. Oh my God, dude. This
I'm not gonna watch the thing, so I don't.
Yeah, I don't know. So
what they do?
Yeah, whatever.
I mean, the only thing that you're really keeping towards April O'Neil is the fact that she's got a yellow coat on, and maybe a little bit of browny red hair. So
highlights. Here's I guess a still from the movie, and it's like, oh, this is April O'Neil. She's writing it with a glitter pen in a spiral journal. JJ, are you complaining she's black?
She probably.
Dude, I don't care.
I don't give a shit.
I don't care that she's black. She's fat. How's she gonna get through the manhole cover to get down into the sewer?
I don't care that I do care that she's black. I don't have a problem with black people, but I do care she's black because the 3 words that I would have described April O'Neil is white, redheaded girl in yellow is how I was going to describe her. She's a white girl. You want to make a black girl? Don't call her April O'Neil. Call her fucking Misty Meadows, and she's a new person. Call her something else.
A new character.
April O'Neil is a white woman with red hair that wears yellow. Is known for wearing yellow. That's April O'Neil. April O'Neil.
This is coming from Deacon, dude.
With her being black. I do.
But you didn't care. You didn't care about Little Mermaid being black, right? You didn't care about that.
Well, now that I think about it, I think I do. That character is is a fucking white character. Why have you got to? Why the only one that I don't have a problem with, I don't guess, is Nick Fury. But Nick Fury's fucking story, if you know any of his fucking backstory and Nick Fury's story, you know it all made fucking sense anyway. When they explained why Nick Fury was a black guy and a white guy back in the day, it was better than him being a white.
That's a hilarious story.
It was a better description of just him being the white guy. I liked it. It was a better story.
I mean, I honestly don't care that she's black, but why does she have to be fat and dumpy?
I don't care about that.
Oh, you don't even care about that?
If you want to make a different character, call her something different. You want to make a little black girl that does something that's completely fine. Make a little black girl, make a little Hispanic girl. I don't care what her fucking nationality is. Make the little girl, make her look like whatever she wants. He'll make her wear yellow. Give her a different color, considering that the other Mutant Ninja Turtles all wear different colors. Wouldn't that be a good idea to change the story and make another girl a reporter that wears blue and she could be from Mexico? I'm just coming up with this shit off the top of my head, you fucking idiots. And we can't get anybody to do anything but retell a whole bullshit story and piss off a bunch of people. Good God Almighty.
All right. So Ozark's 3 words are dumpy, brown, lesbian.
That's what
ouch. All right.
Lord, I didn't realize that was going to fire me up the way that it did. But
I didn't know you were going to be so upset about it.
Story-wise standpoint, and I'm like, you know what? I do take offense to that.
Let's do jokes, but I want to talk about this just a second. This weekend, I went out to the comic shop and I picked up 2 books. I picked up Nemesis Reloaded. This is a Mark Miller book. It's a perfect bound graphic novel. It was like $15.99 or whatever. This is awesome. If you haven't read Nemesis or Nemesis Reloaded before, this is basically a bad guy who is essentially Batman. He's as smart, as prepared, as clever, as trained or whatever as Batman, but he's a bad guy. And this book came out a while back. And at the end of this book, you'll find out that it has a tie to Wanted, which I've had this since 2008 or whatever. So this is Mark Miller's Wanted, which was the base material for the Wanted movie with Angelina Jolie and James McAvoy. And I bought Nemesis Reloaded because it is the precursor to Big Game #1. So if you don't have a reason to the comic book shops lately, guys, go check out, go to the comics shop and pick out Big Game #1, and you can pick up Nemesis Reloaded as a trade. I highly recommend these books. These are great stories of bad guys, and yet at the same time you'll be like, well, he's kind of got a point. So you can check that out. I'm pretty happy about that. Okay, let's do jokes.
All right,
brown lesbian.
Dumpy brown lesbian. All right, JJ, what does a Polish cat meow sound like?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't speak Polish.
All right. What has 2 legs and cannot walk?
I don't know.
Pair of pants.
Oh, boo.
All right. Thanks for watching the show, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow. Bye.